Good morning and welcome to Vintage and Vinyl. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I'm sorry I'm a little bit behind this morning, but a lot of moving parts to get this Jello recipe off and running. So I realized there was a few things that I needed to do in advance that I didn't think about last night. So I wanted to make sure those got done so everything was smooth. I see Debbie at Our Vagabond Travels is joining us this morning, and Debbie and I are having a sale on Thursday together, so that's going to be lots of fun at 5 p.m. I'm looking forward to that. And I see Karen Radford is here in the chat. Good morning, Karen. Thanks so much for joining us. And Elba is here. Hello, hello. And Judy Scala, welcome to the chat. And Trisha from San Dienato. Now today is Wednesday, so Trisha will be having her sales at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, don't forget that there's a few other sales happening today. Missy at Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter will be going live at 1 o'clock Eastern for her Easter themed sale. And there's a few other things happening as well throughout the day. I'll be with Tammy at Vintage Uprising, Texas tonight at, oh, there's Louie going bananas, I believe at 6:30. So check the listings for that on the calendar. And then I will also be back with you tonight to try this recipe live. That's right. So I'll be cooking with you live this morning, and then we'll be trying the recipe live this evening at 9:30 Eastern Standard. And I'll be opening some viewer mail from all of you, which is all very exciting. Hello, Kim. Welcome to the chat. I'm glad you're here. And Anna, Little Vintage Me 64 is here. Hello, hello. Daniel from Tacky is Me. If you're not subscribed to Daniel, please go do so. He has a fantastic channel. And I see Carrie is joining us. Good morning. Yes, Louie is having a very, very wild day today. The blinds are open and the dogs are at the park down below, and she is just going nuts. So today I am wearing this beautiful green brooch that was sent to me by Tony, Butterfly Nurse. It was her mother's. And then I am rocking this cool little scarf I got from Fatbird Fine. So I am loving this little ensemble. And of course, my favorite jean shirt. That's always comforting and fun. And I see Tia Fane is joining us. Good morning, Tia Fane. And Linda Punky is here. Hello, hello. And I see Judy G from Kentucky. Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you. And TC is joining us. Good morning, Katie. I do, TC. I totally realize that. I am like the total taste tester, the official taste tester for the vintage community here. We're trying all the recipes that are Jello, and I'm going to give you my full thoughts. Good morning, Bob. How's my rockin' rodent doing? I'm so glad you're joining us today. And is there anyone else that I've missed? If I did, I'm sorry. The chat jumps a little bit. So today we are cooking up some cottage cheese and kidney bean salad. Yes, that looks pretty nasty. This book is Knox On Camera Recipes, I believe from 1966. And this was a gift from Joni at Vintagerous Vintage Glass and China. So I was so thrilled to get this. I think it's fun. There's lots of recipes, so we'll be doing a few more out of this book. But the cottage cheese and kidney bean salad was the first recipe that really made me go, ooh, that's awful. So I have to see what it is, of course, and try it because I want to know. And I see Adam from Record Crate is joining us. Now, if you're not subscribed to Adam or TC in the chat, I saw TC a minute ago, TKR Video Central. If you love vinyl, they have some really good vinyl content. And of course, Record Crate is awesome because he does live record sales. So if you're looking for some fun records and you want to support local businesses, please go check out Adam. He is great. Okay, so let's talk about what's in this recipe. Well, there's quite a few things in here that I just frankly don't think belong, but apparently Knox Jello did back in the 60s. So in here, there is 1 1/2 cups cottage cheese, 1 envelope of Knox unflavored gelatin, 1 cup milk, 2/3 cup French dressing, 1 tablespoon minced onion, and a dash of pepper, 1 cup cooked or canned kidney beans drained, and 1 cup shredded cabbage. So yes, all of this is going into my Jello mold and into my refrigerator. So lots of odd ingredients. There's also cucumber to boot in this recipe, which I'm not a big fan of cucumbers. We're going to see how this goes. Now, it says here that it is hearty enough for a luncheon main dish, and the salad has a tempting combination of flavors everyone will enjoy. Well, I don't know about that. I think that's a stretch here, because this looks pretty gross to me. But I'm not going to knock it until I try it. So I will give it my full taste test and let you know. So yes, it does. It sounds very interesting. Yes, yuck. That's what I think. I think I'm going to need some sort of a bucket later on. Hi, Daniel. Yes, this is all kinds of wrong. I agree. It's not very good. Good morning, Critty Grat. Thanks for joining us. I'm making my ooh face. It is. It's gross. Now, here's what I'll tell you about this recipe that's interesting. Is normally when you make gelatin like this here, you would put water in it and then mix it. In fact, this box says to use 3 cups water. Well, this recipe doesn't want you to use water, so we're actually using milk. So this is my first time ever doing Jello with milk. So you guys are going to see it live here, and we're going to figure out how this works, because I've never done it before. So we're going to give that a try. Let me say hello to a few more people that just popped in. I see Miss Bev is joining us. Good morning, Miss Bev, and Carrie Ann. Oh, and Bob's rodent just ate some Jello from 1966. Blata. That's fun, Bob. I like that. And Rita's joining us. Not a fan of kidney beans in my Jello. No. Now, see, that's the thing. Fruit Jello is very good. Fruit Jello is fine. Jello by itself with whipped cream is delightful. But kidney beans and Jello, I don't understand. Who is eating this stuff? I mean, can you imagine you sit little Timmy down to the table and you're like, all right, Timmy, this is what's for dinner. And, you know, back then you ate everything. You never threw anything away. So poor Timmy's got to sit here and eat this whole plate of nasty Jello that Timmy doesn't want to eat. So I'm going to be Timmy today and try this stuff. Thank you, Sharon. I thought it would be fun. Just a little pop of color. Karen Radford says, we use Knox for the thickening. Oh, that makes sense too. Now, I was unsure if they still made this, but they do. I was able to get Knox unflavored gelatin at the store, so that's exciting. Good morning, Jamie. Welcome to the chat. We're so glad you're here. And let's see why. Might as well throw in some liver and onions. Exactly, right? Why? I don't know. This is such a weird combination of things. Did they not have anything that tasted good back then? Well, I'm sure some of the pies and so forth were good, but this whole Jello mess is very wild to me. So let's get started here, and I'm going to try to follow the chat, and I'll explain to you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. The first thing in this recipe that we need to do is heat up the milk. Now, this recipe says that you need to mix 1/2 cup of milk and the gelatin to soften over the stove. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to move. Let's see if this will work here. I'm going to try to get this to work, you guys. I'm going to move over to the stove so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, hi, Donna the Mama. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Awesome. Okay, so let's try this. We're going to move on to the stove. I've got my Knox gelatin here, and I already have the milk measured out. So we're going to give this a try. Now, it does say the whole package of gelatin. I wanted to make sure because I saw another recipe where you were only using half. So we're going to stir in a whole packet of Knox gelatin with only part of the milk because you're going to use more of the milk later. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then we're going to work on some of the other things like beating the cottage cheese. Yes, we have to beat the cottage cheese in a mixer. So that's coming up. All right, so the first thing we do is we've got my milk and I've got my gelatin. And we're going to go over to the stove, and on low heat, we are going to mix this together. Now, I'm only going to be doing a 1/2 cup of milk because the other half we're going to save. So that's about a 1/2 cup. I am going to whisk this together, I think. That's probably the best way to get this all incorporated. And can you guys see what I'm doing okay? I hope so. So we're gonna let that milk heat up a little bit. They said to pour it in together. So I'm gonna try that. Now normally I let the milk heat up, but I'm just gonna go ahead and dump it in and give it a go and follow. And then I'm just gonna whisk it. That's a hard word to say, whisk it. I'm just gonna whisk it together and let that kind of come together on low heat over the stove. And we'll see what happens. Now, in the meantime, let's get some of this other stuff prepped. How about that? So let's see. Now, let me show you the cottage cheese. That's what they want you to mix. You have to mix this in a mixer on high for 3 minutes, an electric mixer. So I've got cottage cheese. Any kind will work. It doesn't matter. They don't say that it has to be a particular milk fat. So I just have regular cottage cheese here. And we're going to mix this together in my mixer that's over on the other side. So they want us to mix together on high, which is, that's a lot, high. Hopefully this doesn't go everywhere. We're going to mix this on high, and they want 1 1/2 cups. So here we are, 1 1/2 cups of cottage cheese, which cottage cheese by itself is pretty good with peaches, but cottage cheese and Jello, I don't know about this. So yes, I'm going to be eating this, Jamie, on my live. I'm going to do another live tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and I will be trying this live. So let's get this in the mixer and start whipping this up, and we'll go check on the Jello on the stove, make sure it's not burning, and give that a little bit of a stir. So let's do all that now. It's slowly going to take a little while to heat up. It seems like it's combining already a little bit, which is good because I didn't know you could put Jello in advance. So let's take my measuring cup. We're going to go over to the mixer. I've already got it plugged in and ready to go. And we're going to put in 1 1/2 cups. Now I'm using a half measure because I think it's easier to do it this way because it fits in the container. And I'm just sort of going to rough measure and level it off on the sides. So that's a cup. And then here's a 1/2 cup. Okay, so for 3 minutes, we're going to beat this on high. Now, they don't say what consistency you're looking for. My dog, Louie, I just dropped the lid, and she's licking the cottage cheese. So there we go. Louie's having a snack this morning. She apparently likes the cottage cheese. I doubt she would eat the Jello. She eats a lot of things, but this Jello is so bad, I don't know about it. All right, here we go. On high for 3 minutes. All right, so while that's cooking, let's go check on the stove. And I see that Nancy is joining us. So welcome, Nancy and Christy from Tippy Wings Vintage. No worries. And I see Julie is here. Hello, hello, Julie. Julie from AJ's Retro from Canada. All right, let's go check on the Jello here. Give that a little bit of a whisk. All right, the Jello is coming together nicely, so let's go check on our mixer and see what's happening over here. So it's basically beating until it's an egg white consistency. So that's what it says that they're going for here. I see it later down in the recipe. So we're just going to let it beat until it's fluffy like egg whites, apparently. So that's what we're looking for. It's looking pretty good. But I think it could get some of the curds out. That's probably also what they're doing, is making it less curdy. Okay, so we've got that going. Now we're also going to have to shred some cabbage and chop up some cucumbers. So while that is mixing, we can chop up a little bit of the cucumber for garnish. We'll get that served up. So I've got one standard cucumber here. I'll tell you guys, this is hard to do live because you got a lot of moving parts. So thanks for sticking with me. Now I've got a plain old cucumber here, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a chop. They don't say, but I'm going to do like a 1/4 inch slice. So we're just going to do little rounds like this, about yay big. And we'll do a couple of them reserved for the top. And I might slice just a few thinner ones, since I'm not a big fan of cucumber. Maybe if I made them a little thinner, I wouldn't have so much to eat. So I made a few just a little thinner like that for the top. And we'll have that as the garnish when all of this is done. So that's all together. Now let's go check on what's happening in the blender. Okay. Okay, so we've got this kind of nice stiff egg white consistency. It's kind of like peaks in an egg white. You see it's starting to form stiff peaks. So I think this is pretty good. I'm not going to mix it anymore. Now, what we need to do next is again go back and check on the Jello that's on the stove on low and see what is happening. So it's starting to thicken up just a little bit. But when you do the Jello, and you pull it with a spoon or a whisk, you can start to see that the Jello's leaving a little bit of a line. So it's slowly coming together. And I don't want to dump this on my computer, so I've got to be kind of careful how I do that here. All right, so we'll get a few more things prepped while that's cooking up. The next thing that they want you to do is there's a lot of ingredients that go into the egg white. So we can go ahead and do that now. And one of the things that they want is the kidney beans. So we're going to put in the kidney beans into the recipe. The kidney beans, and they also want the French dressing. So we're going to get all of that folded in. And we'll also add some of that shredded cabbage, which I have the shredder attachment out and ready to do. So let me get a spoon here. Good old trusty wooden spoon. You can't ever be without these. And I've got some French dressing here. Now, French dressing is awful in a Jello mold, I think. But we're going to try it. So this is 2/3 cup of the French dressing going right in to the egg whites. Well, not egg whites, it's cabbage, it's cottage cheese, but it kind of looks like the egg whites you would do when you're making a meringue. The next thing is they want you to use dark red kidney beans, so that's what we're going to mix up here. Yes, actual kidneys, right? And well, they said you could, but I opted for the canned option so that we didn't have to get them all cooked up or anything. So they say to drain the kidney beans, so that's what we're doing. They say don't wash them because I think that this is where your salt is coming from because there's no other salt in the recipe. So I am dumping those kidney beans, and they are the dark red kind. That's what the recipe calls for. And we're going to mix this together now. This is really looking bad, and I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. Well, actually, I wish you didn't because this doesn't smell very good. So we have all of this. Let me tilt that camera down. In the bowl, yep. And we're just gonna mix this in. It looks a little bit like a bloodbath because the kidney beans are red and the white. That just doesn't go together. Oh, this is awful. Okay, this just does not look right. I mean, it looks right in the fact that this is what the recipe wanted. But ooh, and it does not smell good. This is atrocious. Oh my gosh. I wish you really guys, well, I don't wish, but I do wish same time you can smell that. Okay, so we've mixed this together, and yeah, it looks like vomit. I'm sorry. Hi, Suzico. Welcome. I might like it. You don't know that's true. No worries. Hello, Amanda. Thank you for joining us. Hot Mets Vintage. Yes, it doesn't look very good. I'll just say that. Hi, Tina Hendricks. How are you? Yes, I'm glad you can't smell it because that is just awful. Daniel's saying, please don't eat this tonight. We want you around. Yeah, I don't really want to get food poisoning from bad Jello, if there even is such a thing. All right, so we have to mix the cabbage in. Now, they want half a cup shredded cabbage. Oh, and Aaron is joining us. Hello, Mr. Chapter 2 Vintage. How are you doing? So, yes, the cabbage is next, and we're going to shred it in my shredder. On top, I have a food processor with a kitchen shredder attachment, so that's what we're going to do. Lily's being, she likes the bags. I have to watch out. So we are going to cut a little bit of this cabbage, and we're going to put it in the shredder attachment. And I'm just going to take the bottom off, and then you can take a little bit, and we'll shred it in the shredder. But before I do that, I do want to go back and check on the Jello on the stove and make sure nothing is happening to it, so we don't have burnt Jello, because that wouldn't be very good. So I'm going to do some cabbage wedges, and we'll put that in the shredder, and then I will go check on the Jello. So it looks like it's coming together a little bit. All right. It's getting thicker. So I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit more on low and let that come together. And then we're going to finish up with the shredded cabbage, and we will mix it in this. Now, I don't eat a lot of shredded cabbage, so I might have to give the rest to my neighbor. She might be able to do something with it. All right, so we've got some shredded cabbage, and we're going to go over to the shredder and put it in there. And they just said to shred, so that's what I'm going to do, is just put it in the shredder and let it shred. And I think this looks like about a half a cup. That's what they want. Hi, Tiger. Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to go shred this cabbage, which in Jello, I don't know. So I put the shredder attachment on, and we're going to feed this through the top of my KitchenAid. Now, I cook a lot, so I really rely on KitchenAid appliances because I just think that they work great. So we've got my KitchenAid here, and we're just going to put the cabbage in there, and then you just push this on top, and it will shred it. So here we are. And then we'll just do more cabbage, just like that. Just put it down inside and shred it up. Now we have cabbage going everywhere. There's cabbage behind me. This is a messy process. All right, more cabbage. And there's some that fell down back here. And my counter is clean, so that's not really a big deal. All right, here we are. All right, we've got shredded cabbage. That looks like about a half a cup to me. We can just throw this in the sink. We don't need that attachment anymore. Okay. So once you do the shredded cabbage, and this is what the little shredder attachment looks like. I'm sure most of you guys are used to seeing the shredder attachment that comes with your food processor, but it's really handy for things like that because you just shred it, and look, it comes out perfectly every time. You just got perfect shredded cabbage, and yes, this is going into the Jello. So we've got our mixing bowl here. And we're going to fold in the cabbage with this. So that's what's coming up next here. And I'm going to move some of these things out of the way because I do think that Having a tidy workspace is important when you're cooking. That way you don't have too many things in your way. So we're going to move over and we're going to fold in the cabbage to my Jello mold. So this bowl here. All right, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to use my wooden spoon and I'm going to scrape it all in. Now I've not forgotten about the Jello that's on the stove. So we're going to go over and check on it, make sure it's fully dissolved, and then we will add it to this little concoction here. So this is really not looking very good. I wanted to have hopes for this, you guys. I wanted to say, well, maybe this would be good, but I'm going to tell you, I already know that this is going to just be bad. It does not look good. It has the color of that like tuna dip or shrimp dip, but it's not that. I mean, this is a mess. Look at this, guys. Does that look very good? I say not. I say this looks bad. Hi, Mary R. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing this morning? I saw Mary R. just jumping in. Oh, you have a cobalt blue one. Yeah, the KitchenAids are nice. And when you get them on sale, this is not a paid advertisement for KitchenAid or anything. I just happen to like them. Okay, so let's check on our Jello. All right, we got a nice, smooth consistency. It's heated up, so we're going to slowly fold it in because, you know, we do have the cottage cheese, so we don't want anything to curdle. That wouldn't be very good. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in at a time and mix it. And then what they say to do is to use the rest of your milk. So that's interesting. Put the spoon here. I'm using a whisk. And we're just going to pour in a little bit at a time. Because you don't want to, well, for me, they don't say to do this in the recipe, but I don't think you want to curdle the cottage cheese because the milk mixture is hot. All right, so a little bit in at a time. Just mix this up. And then it can go into the mold once we do that. All right, so it's now mentioning that after you do this, you're supposed to put in the rest of the milk. So that's what we're going to do. We have the rest of the milk. Gosh, I've got cabbage on my computer now. That's great. All right, so here's what we have. It's really hard to show this on a computer when you're live, but here's what we've got. This lovely consistency of goop. So there we go. I'm trying to be objective because, you know, I don't knock it till you try it. That's kind of my philosophy. And I will try almost anything, as you guys know. But this, it just doesn't look good. So I'm not so sure about all this. All right, we've got the rest of the milk here. So we're going to pour the milk in and then mix it all up. Now, this is going to take several hours to set in the refrigerator once we get it into our mold. So we're putting this down. Now, it does mention that you can cool this off before you put it in the refrigerator. And I'm just going to try putting it straight into the fridge and seeing what happens. Now, the only other thing that I know of we have not added to this recipe is we have not added our dash of pepper. So I have some lovely fresh cracked pepper that's going straight in. So just a couple of turns of pepper because it says just a pinch. Surprisingly, there's no salt, but the kidney beans have salt. So maybe that's what that's all about. All right, nice big flakes of cracked pepper, getting everything incorporated and mixed. And now we're going to put it into the Jello mold. Now, here's what it looks like. It should be kind of smooth and gloppy like this. And I'll tell you that the cabbage smells absolutely rancid. The cabbage mixed with this is not a good smell. I can just tell you that right now, since you guys are not here. Let's see. Daniel's saying, yes, it will be wonderful. This is the best tasting ever. It will be, well, never mind. I just can't. The pepper will make all the difference. Yeah, so when this dries, or sats rather, in the mold, it's supposed to kind of look like a, well, I don't know how to nicely describe this color, but sort of like a gray color of some kind, a mystery gray. We're going to call it mystery gray. And so that goes in. Oh, and I did forget one ingredient. Yes, the onion. 1 tablespoon minced onion. I knew I got out the onion. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to add some onion in. And I did get out the onion. And then I put it back because I didn't think we needed it. So let me grab the onion here. Now, the one thing that's interesting is it doesn't specify what kind of onion. So I am using a sweet yellow onion. And we're just going to mince this up and throw it in there. And that will be that. And then I'll figure out, I don't want to waste this whole nice head of cabbage. So we'll do something with that later. Now the cucumbers that I chopped up earlier are going to go on as a garnish. So I will put those in the refrigerator with this, and then tonight when I demold it, I'll put it on the Jello. All right, let me see if I can tilt this down so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing here. All right, so I've got my knife and my onion, and I'm going to show you a pretty easy way to do onions. I know a lot of people are not familiar with this, but grab your knife, pinch it, cut off the top, not the hairy end. Leave your hairy end. And then if you make a slice, oh, Louie, she'll eat the onion, honey. She already found a little piece of cabbage. So you're going to hold the onion like this and cut through the hairy end or the root. And then you have 2 nice halves. Now this makes it easy to peel. So you can peel your onion because you have a nice little corner here in which to peel. And you can just get in there and peel it, and it's very, very easy. The skin just comes right off. Of course, with my hands being a little wet and sticky from the Jello, makes it a little hard. Okay, so you just peel that and dispose of the onion pieces that you don't want, the skin, and then you're ready to chop. Now, since we're going to do like a little mince, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put slices going this way through the onion, following its natural shape, but not through the root. So if you just do it, and you kind of want to make them even, and you can use your finger there. So just like this, not through the root. And then you're going to make slices diagonally. So put your hand flat, holding the onion together, and just make one slice, and then another slice. Not all the way through. Now you can just chop it, and you will have perfect onion pieces every time. Exactly perfect, all the same size. And then you can mince this. Now when you get to the root, because you don't want to waste anything, you can do the same process again. And then just turn it around and do that. And then do it here. And then do it here. And you've literally wasted nothing. All right. Now we're going to make sure that we get the right amount of onion this time, because the last time I did this, my onion was too much and it was awful. So we're going to mince about 1/2 cup of onion. So there we go. And then I'm just going to give it a rough chop. Luckily this onion isn't too potent, so I'm not having trouble with that. I don't want to make my eyes water too much on camera. It's a nice rough chop. I'm going to make these onions, minced like they say, so much smaller. Now, if you wanted to, you probably could put this into a food processor and make it a little easier, but mincing onion and garlic is nothing. It's not hard. Okay, so it needs to be a little bit finer. So we're just gonna mince it here. Tell you what, this recipe is interesting, and I still can't get over who would have eaten this back then. I mean, who would have sat and had this for supper? Like, that just really confuses me. All right, we're looking pretty good here. There's a few larger pieces, and Louie's trying to sneak some onion. My dog Louie's below me, and she sure loves to hang around the kitchen and see what scraps she can get, but I don't think she's going to want the onion. All right, we're all minced up. It's all about the same size for a good consistency here. So we're going to scoop some into the Jello recipe, and I just want to make sure that I get the right amount. I said half a cup, but see, again, I didn't remember. So it's 1 tablespoon. So we are actually going to measure this because I don't want too much of this in here, so we're going to measure a tablespoon out because last time I put too much and it was awful. That onion flavor was gross. So I'm trying to do myself a favor here and not do that. Yes, I know dogs can't have onions, so I'm being very careful that Louie doesn't get any. That's why I picked it up off the floor. Okay. All right, let's see what's here in the chat. I was yelling, not half a cup. Yes, that's too much. I was thinking of that the cottage cheese that was in. Yes, I do need a chef's hat. That would be fun. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate it. I cook a lot, so I'm working on my knife skills. I'm not as fast. I'm not as fast as some people are. You know, you watch the Food Network and you've got people that are going really fast. But I love cooking. Let's see what's here. I love all the ingredients. Right, separately, right? They're good separately. All right, now here's the big reveal. We're going to see how it fits into the Jello mold. Now here's what I did. Is I got a Jello mold. You can buy these new. This is Tupperware off of Amazon. Now, the reason I did this is because this is a big recipe, and all the Jello molds I have are too small. So we're going to give this a try. It's supposed to be non-stick, so we'll see if that helps with the demolding. And Catherine, Lady Hack Mom, mentioned that if you just dunk it in water, hot water very quickly, like 1, 2, 3, and pull it out, it will demold easier. So we're going to try that later on this evening when I get ready to serve it up and actually eat it. But it's got to go in the fridge now to set for a little while. I'm going to put all of that over there and worry about it later. And then we will get pouring into the Jello mold. So this is what it looks like. It's got the center. And I'm not big on using plastic things if I don't have to, but for this, it will be okay. I think it will work out. Gritty Grat is saying, words and phrases used by Kitchen Katie during this demo. Vomit, goop, ooh, this smells really bad. Harry. I know. I mean, I'm sorry, you guys can't smell it, but it's not good. Yeah, leave the hair in. I know it's a term people use for the end of the onion, but yes, it doesn't sound very good. Let's all send vintage thoughts to protect Katie. I want to die of onion and cabbage poisoning. Wouldn't that be awful? I have room to cook, but I don't have the skills. Well, cooking just takes practice. Yes, Louie's barking. Spray the mold with Pam. Beth is saying to spray it with Pam. Okay, I think I've got some Pam, so we'll give that a try and see if it works. Do I have any Pam? I don't use a lot of Pam, so I don't think. Oh, I don't have any Pam. I should have gotten Pam in advance, but I don't. I'm sorry. So we'll just have to try this without the Pam. Yeah, the mold, it's a very fun, whimsical color. I have to say, I like this kind of like 50s mint color. It's perfect. Okay, you'd spray it lightly. Okay, well, if I had Pam, I would. I didn't think about that in advance. So here we are. We're going to pour this into the mold. So I've got my lovely concoction. I'm going to pour it down into the mold. Let me remove that comment there. All right, here we go. And I'm assuming to just try to get it as even as possible, you know, because some of the kidney beans have settled to the bottom. So I would assume that you want them to all be in the same spot. I mean, not in the same spot, all kind of spread around. All right. So let's get this in the mold now. Whenever I've done Jello, when I do the mold part, I always tap a little bit in the mold just to get things kind of settled, some of the bubbles out. I don't know that that makes a difference. Now we're going to put this mold into the refrigerator, and you can burp the Tupperware. I'm assuming that putting the lid on it is fine. But burping Tupperware is an old method of just getting the excess air out. Okay. All right, it's sealed. We're going to put it in the fridge. Now, it's probably going to take about 3 hours to set, but I will be checking on it periodically when I can today and seeing how it's coming. No, welcome, Jenna. I don't think this is going to taste very good. Yeah, I'm pretty brave for trying this, I must say, because it looks awful. Okay, let's see. I just turned in. No, it doesn't, Deanna. And if you could smell it, if you could smell my kitchen right now, you would have a whole nother hesitation toward this thing. Let's see. I'm showing my husband Patrick your Jello mold and told him the ingredients, and he said, Katie, why? It's so gross. I mean, now look, somebody probably ate this and thought it was good. You know, you probably had a Mikey out there that was like, oh, you know, Mikey likes it. He'll eat anything. So there was probably a Mikey out there that loved this. But you know what? I'm not Mikey. I'm Timmy, and I don't want to eat this. I'm the kid that's parent is making them sit at the table and finish the rest of the Jello. Yeah, it does. It looks like random slop, like people just said, oh, well, we got some leftover cucumber, we got leftover cabbage, we're just going to throw it in here and see what happens and hope for the best. Hey, Nancy's only 4 subs away from 600. Well, guys, Nancy needs our support right. Can you guys see me? I think something went out there for a second. Nancy needs our support because she's been dealing with no heat for a while, and she needs a new heater, which is going to be very expensive. So it would be really awesome if you guys could help Nancy get to 600 today and boost her spirits a little bit. So tell your friends to go subscribe to Nancy. She has really good content. She's super knowledgeable on things, and it's always a good time. Oh, yes, the Jello got me. Yes, I accidentally swiped up on my computer, and what it did was it exited me out. So I'm glad I'm back. Buttermilk can be good. Yes, like buttermilk and biscuits are good. All right, I'm back. Bye, Judy. You have a wonderful day. All right, so let's put this in the refrigerator. Her channel name, Letters to Cleo, is This Overstuffed House. She's in the chat right here. And if you're a moderator, you can throw in her link in the chat. Hello, Eclectic Thrifter. You just woke up. Well, the Eclectic Thrifter, her name's Catherine. She was formerly Lady Hack Mom, as we all had seen in the chats, and she did a really good Jello recipe recently on her channel. So she was the one that gave me that tip about dunking it in the hot water. So we're going to try that. And so let's see. All right, I'm going to go back through the ingredients. So let me put this in the refrigerator. We'll get this setting up. This is just not very good. All right, so I've got this in the refrigerator. Let me sit back down, spin you around, and I will go through the ingredients. Where did I put? There's the Jello book. All right, and then we will go through the ingredients. Hello, Angela. Thanks so much for joining us. Welcome, welcome. So here are, how long in the fridge? Well, it says that you put it in for about 3 hours to set. So just as long as it gets, jelly, like a Jello mold. So hopefully that works. And Nancy just put in her link, and she's only a few away from 600, so let's go help her out today. Let's see, wonder if the beans float through. Well, so it looks like they float through in the picture. Now, I'm not entirely certain if they do, but it does kind of appear that way, because here's the picture here. See, it looks like the kidney beans are up at the top in the mold. So we have that. Now, what's in this is it's kidney bean and cottage cheese salad. So there's 1 1/2 cups cottage cheese, 1 envelope of Knox gelatin, 1 cup milk divided, 2/3 cups French dressing, 1 tablespoon minced onion, a dash of pepper, 1 cup cooked or canned kidney beans, drained, and 1 cup shredded cabbage. So that is what is inside this lovely Jello concoction. And then you're supposed to mince have a nice slice of cucumber on the top as a garnish. So that's what we did. We got the cucumber ready, and that's ready to go on top. And see here, they even mentioned dipping it in the warm water. So that's a very good hack if you're looking to unmold Jello. So that's fun. So this is from the Knox On Camera Recipe Jello book. Look at the graphics on the back. That was sent to me by Joni at Vintagerous. Now, if you're not subscribed to Joni, I've linked her channel down below, and she is also very, very knowledgeable on vintage glass. She's a channel I highly recommend checking out. I always learn so much from her, and she does live sales as well as Nancy, so 2 good channels to check out. Now, this was published in 1963, Knox Gelatin, and it's all of these recipes for gel cookery, a complete guide to gel cookery. And there are a few other recipes in here that we could try later. I do want to try ring around the tuna. That will be my next Jello concoction, the tuna mold, which looks absolutely horrible. This one's deviled eggs. Ew, a deviled egg Jello mold. Now, I like deviled eggs, but not in Jello. I mean, what is this? Now, look, you can drink Jello too. I don't think I want to be drinking this Knox Jello. Lose weight, stay slim. Just take these 3 simple steps and drink Knox. Ew, Knox and eggnog. No, thank you. Don't ruin my eggnog. Knox and orange juice and instant milk and Knox and tomato juice. Ew, and bouillon Knox. Can you imagine putting bouillon cubes in Knox Jello? I don't think so. Now, look, I will say, like this Bavarian cream, that looks pretty good. I mean, there's some more simple recipes. Here's peach souffle, strawberry chocolate dessert. Like, some of these probably can't be that bad. Pineapple coconut delight, chocolate chiffon. Those aren't, the on-camera desserts don't look very bad. It's just these other mystery Jello things that just don't look good. Ooh, molded avocado and tuna. Well, here you go. Here's a recipe for you. Molded avocado and tuna. So, yeah, there's some interesting things in here. I think the one that's the worst was the one I showed that I just did. Now, this is a grapefruit and ginger salad. I don't know about all that. Although grapefruit and ginger together is not bad. Tomato aspect. Yep, there's your tomato aspect. Jelly gazpacho. Now, how would you do jelly gazpacho? I mean, I know gazpacho's cold, but I don't know about all that. Hi, Tammy. Good morning. Welcome to the chat. Let's see. Katie, do you need one of us to come over and stand by tonight in case you pass out? I might, Daniel. I might pass out of grossness. But again, I'm not going to totally knock it till I try it, because who knows, maybe this could be the one diamond in all of the Jello recipes that's surprisingly good. But I kind of doubt that. I don't think that it's going to be good. Knox is basic gelatin with no flavor, used to thicken things and make your own flavored Jello from scratch. Yes, it's just plain unflavored Jello. It is not like the Jello brand that you get that's got like orange flavoring or strawberry. It's just plain Jello, and you can do whatever you want to it. I'm glad I'm making your morning, Tina. That's wonderful. Knox and eggnog. What happened to people back then? People probably died of food poisoning from Jello. Yes, it's a thickening. Yes, exactly. And then of course it's just plain Jello, so you could make it your own flavored. Like this one recipe on the back here says that you can make fruit juice Jello. So there's that, and then some sort of it's a snap cheesecake. I'm glad, Rita. I'm so glad. Well, that's what I'm wondering. All right, who made these recipes and thought that they were good? I mean, something, because honestly, they're not very good. The other one I tried, even though I screwed up the onion, it didn't matter how much onion was in it. I wasn't going to like the thing anyway with Miracle Whip. It's just gross. It's nasty. Who puts Miracle Whip in Jello? Jello is sweet, so therefore Jello should have like whipped cream and cherries, not Miracle Whip and French dressing and cucumbers. I don't know what the world's coming to, but people back then apparently thought this was the best idea in the world, and everyone ate it. However, I grew up with Jello eggs on Easter with mayo on it. Well, Tammy, if you like it, more power to you. Granny would whip them together with a mixer while the metal bowl sat in another bowl of ice cubes and water and made it fluffy. And then she put it into little aluminum molds. Yes, that's kind of similar to what this recipe wanted you to do. Although I didn't, when I was getting it before I put it in the mold, I didn't chill it in a bath of water. So we're going to see if that works out, that I didn't do that. Bye, Julie. No worries. I'm telling you, these were housewives that were punishing their husbands and kids for something. Maybe because the husbands didn't help out around the house. Just like that song from the Chordettes, a girl's work is never done. Her husband comes home, and in the song, she says, well, in the song, he says, I'm too tired and knocked out. So he puts his feet up and reads a book while she cooks and cleans and vacuums. So maybe, that's what she's doing. I'm a mayo gal versus Miracle Whip. Yes, Suzuko, I will only eat Duke's mayonnaise. Now, I don't know in Canada if you have Duke's mayonnaise, but Duke's is like the very best mayonnaise in the world, and it is very good, because Miracle Whip is technically a salad dressing. It's not really mayo, but if you like Miracle Whip, again, I'm not shaming anyone for liking the Jello recipes or for eating Miracle Whip. It's just not for me. Come on, folks. Yes, let's smash that thumbs up button if you can. I should have said, well, if we don't get to enough thumbs up, I won't try it. No, I promise I'll try it live for you tonight. Sharon, it is basically whipped eggnog, and the gelatin just sat in it for the molds with whipped cream on top. It was a nice treat. And you used to do that, Nancy. Your grandmother did. Well, it's so nice that you have her molds. I think that's very sweet. Let's see, you've never seen Duke's mayo. Well, let me show you some Duke's mayo. And my little scarf got all out of sorts. Let me show you some Duke's mayo. If you've never seen Duke's mayo, Duke's is the very best. It is real mayonnaise, and it is so good. So if you want Duke's, I highly recommend trying it. You can get it at your grocery store. I'm not sponsored by them, but it is just my favorite mayonnaise in the whole wide world. Yeah, my mom loves Hellman. She's a big fan of the Hellmans, but I like Duke's. Oh, you don't get Dukes. Yeah, some people can't get Dukes where they are, but Dukes is the best. And I grew up eating Dukes with my dad, so I will always like that. So I'm going to have some coffee here and just chat a few minutes. Oh, that coffee's welcome after that Jello. It adds a nice smell. That's not the Jello smell. All right, wonderful. Oh, you have to try Duke's, Jenna. I think it's the best. I really do. It's so smooth, so creamy, so good. It really is delicious. And all this onion and cucumber and cabbage smell is wafting my way. So this coffee is very welcome. Oh, thank you, Tina. Yes, I got this Mickey mug from Alex at Chapter 2 Vintage Co. So this is the mug I'm drinking out of this morning. I love these vintage glass bake milk glass mugs. This one, I think, yes, it's Federal. Is it Federal? No. The other one I have is Federal. This one's Anchor Hawking. So that's really fun. Louie is parked right here by the counter. She wants whatever is on the counter. And she's been jumping up on me. And anytime I drop something, she was ready to grab whatever was on the floor, which is why I was quick picking up that onion, because dogs are not supposed to have onions. So I didn't want her to get any of that. Angela's got some merch in the works, which is fun. I've seen a little sneak peek of it, and let me tell you guys, it's really fun. She has some community merch, so it kind of combines all the things that we love in this community and puts it on one shirt. So it's a community shirt for everyone, and I think it's really fun. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be big excitement later on today. Oh, thank you, Beth. I appreciate it. I do like this scarf from Mary Beth and Laura, and I was going to look the brand. I can't read that. Something limited. Fiesta Limited. Here's the brand on the scarf, and you're probably supposed to wear it where the brand doesn't show, but that's what I've got, and I really like this. And then Butterfly Nurse Tony, she was so sweet to send me this green pin that was her mother's, so I really cherish that, and I think that's fun. Let's see. Oh, yes, lots of cool merch coming on for Angela. So what else, guys, is happening? Eclectic Thrifter is saying, I was long me feet too. Oh, you were on your feet too long yesterday, Catherine. Well, hopefully you can kick up your feet tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard and watch me try this nasty Jello. So I'll be trying that live with you guys on camera. We'll be opening some friend mail too. So lots of fun happening tonight on my channel later on today. I also will be live with Tammy at Vintage Uprising, Texas tonight. I believe it's at 6:30, and we will be doing a live sale. Now, I'm not selling anything. I'm just there announcing winners and hanging out with all of you guys. But I will be selling a few things on Thursday with Debbie at Our Vagabond Travels for our joint sale. So that's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to that, and that's all exciting. And then, of course, today, Misty at Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter has her Easter sale at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I think is going to be lots of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And Nancy, I did get a box from you. So I have some fun friend mail from Nancy to open, as well as I think I've got a friend mail from Christy at Timpy Winks Vintage, some other fun friend mail from Pamela Blanchard, and some friend mail from Debbie at Our Vagabond Travels. And lots of you guys sent me special things, so I can't wait to open them tonight with you. Oh, no worries, TC. You'll be for the live show. You'll have to fill me in on how it was if you've already tasted it. Sounds good, TC. Thank you so much for joining. And guys, make sure you go subscribe to TKR Video Central. If you love vinyl and you love somebody fun to watch, he's really got some good content. I enjoy watching him. Let's see. What am I? Oh, are you talking about the Fatbird Fine shirts? Yes, they're not invoicing anyone right now. So if you placed a pre-order for a Fatbird Fine shirt, you will get an invoice later when they come in. And I am looking for my shirt. I'm looking forward to that shirt. It's going to be fun. Katie, we love you for bringing us such entertainment and bravery. Thank you, Daniel. I truly appreciate it. lots of fun with these old Jello recipes, and I'm glad that I'm getting to try them for you. That makes me happy. Sending you a smoothing, smoothing too. Sending you smoothing too. Okay, Sharon, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you had fun, Tiger. That is awesome. Katie, I have you for your email. Yes, you can send me an email if you want to reach out to me. My email is down below in the description box. You can email me there. And if you want to send me friend mail, I can give you a good address for that via email. Let's see, you have to go now, but you'll be tuning in for the taste test. Awesome, Tina. Well, guys, this was so much fun. I had hanging out with you of all. Oh, Nancy, I'm sorry I have to say this. Nancy just hit 600 subs. Yay! Nancy, congratulations. You so deserve that. You have really good content. And, of course, you're always helping everyone out and being super kind in the chats. And I love that we can help you out while you're going through this difficult time. I hope it brings you some joy today as you're dealing with no heat. And, guys, if you want to donate to help Nancy get a new heater, you can donate. I'm sure Nancy can put her email in, but it's been floating around the community. Trisha at Sandy Auto did a video about it, and then Pat Doodles did a live sale and a benefit for her. So if you guys want to donate, it would be wonderful, and you could put some money her way, friends and family via PayPal, and help her out with that heater. And of course, just subscribing boosts her up as well. So that's a big help. Yes, I did, Kim. So I have friend mail to open as well tonight from Sharon C. So yes, I got the package, and I remember that from the live sale, and it was so wonderful. So I can't wait to open that. That's very, very exciting. So thank you guys so much. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? Oh, yes, you can go back and watch the replay always, and I'll be trying it tonight. Oh, it's okay. Posted about the house problems. But Nancy, we are a community, and that's the wonderful thing about this community is everybody is here to help each other out and to lean on one another. And I feel like the great thing is we've all become pretty close friends now because we see each other day in and day out in the chats. We know our pet's name. We know what's going on, and we all try to help each other out. So this is a big family, and that's what we're here for. And we can help everybody, and that's wonderful. And I see Nancy put in her email. So, yes, go help Nancy out if you can. Go subscribe to her channel and check out her live sales if you want some fun vintage on Thursdays at 11 p.m. So lots of fun things. Yes, Nancy, that is totally okay. We love you. That is very, very true. So I will be trying this Knox Jello recipe. There's probably some other things coming up for the day. Oh, I didn't mention Trisha, Sandy Auto has a sale at 4. There's probably more going on. I think Cindy at Mimi's Treasure Cottage has a sale at 6 or 6:30. You know, guys, with the schedule filling up, it is going to be impossible to not have overlapping. So we all try not to overlap each other. We try not to run into each other's sales, but it's just going to become impossible because everybody wants to do a live sale or a live video and get their content out too. So it becomes really hard when the schedule gets full. So, you know, there might be several things going on at the same time tonight, but you can do split screens if you want. And that's totally fine. So stay tuned for all of that. Look for the calendar floating around. And of course, if you subscribe to your favorite people and hit the bell, you'll be notified when they go live, which is awesome because then you can get their notification and click on and watch what they're doing. So that's lots of fun. And oh yes, subscribe to Kim and Oh My Vintage. She had a fun live sale last night. I popped in and she had some fun things. And I have some friend mail from one of her live sales tonight on my live. So that's going to be lots of fun. Yes, does her sales on Saturdays. Yes, because the Saturday time slot seems to be a little bit more open. So yes. She posts the schedule on Instagram. That's right, at A. Marksberry. Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun cooking with you guys this morning. I am so thrilled that you're able to join me and watch me cook up some Jello. Hopefully the recipe comes out. Hopefully it gets demolded correctly. We'll see how that works. I've never done something like this with the unflavored gelatin, so I'm curious about it. And the milk was interesting because I've never used milk in place of water for the Jello. So we'll see how this goes, and it's going to take a little while to set up. But I can maybe post some pictures throughout the day on Instagram and little progress photos if you want of the Jello. So I might be able to do that. And then that way, you can look forward to watching me eat it live on camera. I may need a napkin or two to get through this because it doesn't look very good and it certainly smells pretty putrid. But I'm not going to like it till I try it. It might be good. It might be one of those weird recipes that's just like, wow, this is actually very good. But I kind of doubt that. But we'll see tonight. Lots of fun coming up for me this evening. I love you guys so very much. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. But I'm going to quote one of my favorite people on Instagram. She always says, I hope you have a fantastic day. But even if you can't, don't you dare go messing up somebody else's. I love you guys so very much, and I hope, as always, you will stay in, stay safe, and binge YouTube. Until next time, bye-bye now.
What?